Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about the Dana White Contender Series tonight. Unfortunately, I will not be live streaming these fights this evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. I apologize. I know a lot of you guys love to watch the fights on the Discord server, but I have other responsibilities that won't have me. I won't be live streaming tonight. Sorry. Okay. But we do have 5 fights tonight, and I want to break them down and talk to you about them and kind of give you the strategy moving forward and give you a rundown on who the fighters are and who you should probably be leaning towards when it comes to betting and things like that. So we'll talk about the first matchup of the night, Dylan Mantello versus Ahmed Hassanzadeh. We've seen both of these fighters before. They both lost on the Contender Series in years past or in seasons past. It's the battle of the mid. I don't like either one of these guys, to be honest. If I had to pick one of them that I want to cheer for, it would be Dylan. He's American. He's not on Team Alpha Male, and I know that he has a puncher's chance to win this fight. On the flip side, he's very slow, like very slow. He goes out there and he just misses all day. And that's a problem when you're fighting a guy like Ahmed Hassanzadeh, who's going to try to take this fight to the ground and be a grappler. Hassanzadeh has no chin. I've seen this dude buckled on the regional scene. You YouTube his name, start pulling up YouTube fights, watch a few, you'll be like, oh my God, this guy is not built for fighting. But he trains really hard, and here he is. I don't like him at all. I'm telling you that right now. I just can't back him. When you go look at the sports book, they have him a favorite 160. If you want to go chalk, you can take him chalk, and I highly suggest you go and parlay it with Elijah Smith, and there's your chalk parlay. I need to shrink myself for this video, so let's make sure I do that. I apologize. But you want to see your odds there, and that gives you a plus 130 for the night. You can just chill. But I don't believe in him like that, okay? I don't. I like the underdog in Dylan to at least buckle this guy, win a round because of it, look the part. He's good enough at wrestling to get back to his feet. I'm cool with Dylan, man. He fights out of that Serra-Longo fight team. They want all those guys in the UFC. That's why they're redoing this fight and running it back. I think Dylan can find a way to win. I hope so. And I hope we don't get a hug fest from Ahmed. But I wouldn't bet on this fight. In the next fight, you see this guy, Yura Naitado. I'm going to talk about him first. Undefeated Japanese fighter. These guys are fighting at 185. Most Japanese fighters aren't 185. They're usually lower in weight. So to see a bigger Japanese guy is just different. And please understand, he's got real fight acumen, right? He was on the national wrestling team, so we know he trains really hard. I was a high school wrestler. I can tell you how hard wrestling practice is. So for this guy to be on the national wrestling team, an Olympian level wrestler for Japan, I got a lot of respect for that. He is a grappler, okay? He's undefeated and all that stuff. He's fought nothing but cans, just bums. And then you got Gautier over here. And Gautier, 5-1, we don't know what Gautier can do, but just like the other day when we saw that other dude from the Congo where he was just a freak of nature and he could just get up when he was taken down and he punched hard and he had a chin and he looked amazing. You guys remember this on the Contender Series just like last week. I forgot his name. But the point I'm trying to make is Gautier is from the same place as Francis Ngannou. He throws them things like you wouldn't believe. He's a freak of nature. And in these types of matchups, typically, you just go with the genetics. So I wouldn't blame you. And if you go look at the sports book, it's an even pick 'em. So if you want to pick 'em and you just want to know who to pick in this fight, Gautier is a monster. What I've seen on tape, he just knocks people out. He's got the goods to knock somebody out. One-punch knockout power. We don't know how good at wrestling is. We don't know what his gas tank is. We don't know what his grappling is. We don't know none of that. We just know he's an athlete. He's a genetic freak, and he's going to knock people out. On the flip side, NATO, dude's got a small piece. No, dude is not built like that, right? Genetically, I think he's in trouble if he gets hit. Now, obviously, if he can wrestle, string this thing out, and wins rounds 2 and 3, fine. But if it's a coin flip, and if you want to bet on it either way, that's on you. I would recommend Gautier. I would, but it's nothing I would parlay. You can even go to Gautier knockout. There is no reason to go any other way with him. Maybe points, but Gautier, I would say if you want to get it right, it's 185, and you just do that straight across, parlay nothing. You're not going to get them all right. This is the Contender Series. These things are highly volatile. Nobody gets all these right. So I would just think that he's going to win by TKO KO. It's a 185. I think he goes out there and just hurts the Japanese man, unfortunately. Next fight, Joey Hart and Bennett, another pick'em fight. Joey Hart and Bennett, these guys right here. Joey Hart is a special kind of athlete. He's a Muay Thai fighter. He's great in the clinch. When you're tied up in those 50-50s, his knees, his elbows, his striking is on point. He hits so hard and throws so hard that he does get tired by rounds 2 and 3. And that's problematic. But he's a great striker, a good striker. On the flip side, Benjamin Bennett is an all-around fighter. He's a good wrestler, good striker, kind of boring. I watched him get knocked out by a tall guy who's already in the UFC. What's his name? Give me a second here. I know his name. It's just slipping. It's just escaping me right now. Oh, Trey Waters. So we've seen Trey Waters, and Trey Waters is a complete bum in the UFC. Trey Waters, tall black guy, 6'3", and he does all these crazy knees and elbows and all that. But Trey Waters don't got that killer instinct in him. Trey Waters ain't built like that, and Trey Waters knocked this man out. So for me, once I see Trey Waters knock you out, Joey Hart's a lot like Trey Waters. And Trey Waters is a Muay Thai fighter, and he found a knee in the clinch, knee to the head from the clinch, blah, blah, blah. I think Joey Hart's got a shot to win this fight. It is a coin flip. I understand the people who are on Benjamin Bennett because he's got that dog. And look at, by the way, look at this man's physique. This is real, okay? This is what I'm betting on here. I'm betting on genetics, a monster, versus a pretty tough Asian dude. But I don't know. He's the biggest dude in his gym, right? Monster. Oh, shout out to Cameroon. But here we are. And it looks high cheekbones, looks a little femme. Yes, he looks a little Caleb Williams-ish, I get it. But man, broad shoulders, dangerous weapons, kind of Peyton Talbot type dude. Just a precision striker. And he's huge. He's 6'3", 170. He's towering over this man, and he knows how to use his length. Not like in the first fight of the night where you have a taller fighter or you have a tall fighter in Mantello, but he doesn't use his length properly. He just doesn't. Mantello, these are better prospects for me. Better prospects and fighters. I understand the two of them, but I'm cool with this man Hart here. I think that's the pick for me. Once again, no parlay, just a straight across bet that you should make for Joey Hart against Bennett. You shouldn't be parlaying any of this. You're not going to get them. You're not going to get two right. You're not going to get two right. Straight across bets. Then we have Talal Teixeira versus Arthur Lopes. I want to say one thing. This is a crime that these two are fighting each other. First off, Talal Teixeira is 6'8". Okay? He's 6'8", heavyweight, 259 pounds or so. He's huge. Guys, I've seen so many of these guys show up on the Contender Series and be absolutely terrible. I want you to pick a fight that he fought. I want you to pick a fight, and we'll pull up the picture of who he fought. We'll go with Cato first. Look at Cato, bro. How old is Cato? He fought a grandfather. He fought Cato, bro. When was Cato born? That's crazy. We can pick another one. Let's pick Caio, Rebello. Caio's got fucking baby fat. These are the dudes he's fighting, and he's knocking them all out. Don't get me wrong. This dude's never won a fight in his life. He's 0-2. He's knocking everybody out. But look at this. These are dudes who go around telling people they fight. So he fought nothing but cans, just terrible people, and he's knocking them all out. Well, one of those cans that he's fought is a guy like Arthur Lopes. I don't know where this is coming from. Arthur Lopes, I'm checking his fights, and I'm trying to find him. Guys, the footage is videotaped on a toaster. Go check the dates on this shit, bro. One fight, 2018 is back when he was active. 2015, 16, 2018. And then he didn't do anything until, and he did 20 seconds. 20 seconds. I don't know what these fights are. I don't know what's going on, but I can just tell you this. The last time we saw a massive underdog like this that we had no footage on, she walked into the ring and knocked out the heavy favorite with one punch. Do not parlay Talal Teixeira on anything. He's a minus 1,100, completely pointless bet. But he is a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and if he thinks he's going to go in there and bang with this other dude, by the way, Arthur Lopes is 6'2", 220 pounds. Like, he's not a heavyweight at all. He's just a middleweight who doesn't want to work out. That's what he is. He's a 185-pounder who doesn't want to work out. So he's now 220 pounds and has to fight heavyweight. He's got a puncher's chance like anybody else. I wouldn't bet on it personally, but you could if you wanted to, be rich. There it is. It's plus 1,100. I like this one, though. Teixeira by submission. Everybody's expecting him to go in there and get the knockout. What if they get in a grappling match and Teixeira's way better, and because he's so tall, he gets a guillotine? What if he gets a guillotine or a rear naked choke? I like to just sprinkle this. There's no reason to try to get this right. That's pointless. But this Teixeira submission plus 600 is worth a total sprinkle, and just hope for the best. The long shot there is the plus 1,100. There's no other way to bet on that fight. You should not be betting on it any other way because of where the odds are. They've had him at minus 1,300. I mean, it's two dudes who are out of shape, who don't take this thing seriously. And even though he's enormous, I've seen guys like this come out and be soft as baby shit. Like last week, we had a guy minus 800, and Dana White said, I'm not interested in him. The last fight of the night is one that I'm extremely excited to watch. Elijah Smith against Aaron Tao. We'll talk about Aaron Tao first. He has the world's worst face tattoo. They don't have it on here, do they? Yeah, he does. It's that stupid ass face tattoo where he sticks out the tongue, and it's traditional, blah blah blah. He's from New Zealand. He trains with the city kickboxing team, so he's with the mass kickers. He's with the Israel Adesanya's, the hookers, the dude we saw last week. Like, the guy, they go out there, they're in great shape, they're ripped, they're amazing. This dude is 5'3", 5'4", bro. He's tiny. I don't believe in him like that. He's tough. He's cool. I think he's undefeated. I watched the tape. He's scrappy. Man, get me a real fighter. And a real fighter for me is Elijah Smith. I think Elijah Smith is a special kind of athlete. I really do. So for me, I really like Elijah Smith's chances in winning this fight. And it's a straight across bet. I'm not sure how he's going to win. It's a tough fight, but it's a minus 240. I like Smith. And if you want to take, I just don't like, I'm here. Like, these parlays don't feel good to me. Straight across bet on Smith. Yeah, I know it doesn't feel positive to you, but I really don't see anywhere else I can parlay it. Unless you want to go with Hassanzada, doesn't get knocked out, and he wins because he's going to out-grapple Mantello. It's going to be like the main events that we just saw. It's going to be like not as drastic as Sean O'Malley and that leg humper, but this looks like a decent bet tonight at plus 130. It does, to go chalk. That go chalk. Good luck picking the coin flips. And root for the underdog against Teixeira, or root for Teixeira to get a submission. And that's about it, guys. That's how the fights are going to go tonight. I don't see any parlays worth making. I just see kind of watch the fights, enjoy them. Hopefully you see some awesome knockouts. And once again, I apologize. I'm not live streaming on the server. I might, but I highly doubt it. I got to be up at, I think, 2 in the morning. So I got to go to bed early tonight. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Stay up, y'all. Peace.